One of the big smokescreens pre-draft became obvious last night as well when the Giants passed on J.J. McCarthy. They led people to believe they were in on McCarthy. It was to obscure their interest in Drake Maye. It came down to the Giants or the Vikings trading up to number 3 with the Patriots to get Drake Maye. At the end of the day, they didn't make the offer that would get the Patriots to say. And I kind of thought the Patriots were posturing to get the best possible offer they could because they knew they could put their thumbs on the scale to get more because, especially the Vikings, were very desperate to get in position to get Drake Maye. Patriots decide, we're taking Drake Maye. A lot of pressure on Drake Maye. Still in the shadow of Tom Brady, and the fans will generally know, yeah, we could have traded that pick and gotten a lot of stuff to help make the team better. Drake Maye's got to come in and prove it, and there's a lot of concerns about consistency and accuracy. Chris Sims had him at 6th of all the top quarterbacks, and we'll see what Alex Van Pelt, who got fired by the Browns as offensive coordinator, he's one of this churn of offensive coordinators who get passed around the league, get fired one place, hired another place. He's going to be the guy responsible for getting the most out of Drake Maye.
Yeah, it definitely will be interesting because, and I think not only in the shadow of Tom Brady, now you're in the shadow of the top 15 pick and Mac Jones, who goes as a rookie. The team gets 10 wins as rookie year, go out, make the playoffs. He ends up becoming an alternate in the Pro Bowl. And it was like, wow, they found the next guy. And then you see the way that whole thing crumbles. So now you have two of these things to think about if you're Drake Maye. You have to think about Tom Brady, the best quarterback of all time, and then Mac Jones, really in the modern day New England history, was like this huge failure of what they thought it could be. So, and I think when you watch the game, I had one of my friends from New England who was a fan. He's like a huge diehard fan. He was like, I don't know about Drake Maye. He was like, he gives me Mac Jones vibes. And I'm like, I don't know. I think you just think that because he's another white quarterback coming to New England following Brady. So I don't think it's like you see Drake Maye, you see Mac Jones. But I do think for Drake Maye, that pressure is going to be there because, for one, you're the number 3 pick, and this franchise has been looking since Tom Brady left for that guy. So you have to now come out there. You're not going to be throwing the ball to some stud all-pro wide receiver. They don't have that. Last year, their offensive line was a mess. Couldn't protect Mac at all. Couldn't protect Zappy at all. So now you come in there. There's no influx of talent that's coming in. And I think one of the things that New England had to like about him is his time at North Carolina. He wasn't sitting there throwing to a bunch of All-Americans. Yeah, they had Walker and there was a good receiver. And I think he'll be a good receiver in the NFL as well. But that's one guy. He didn't have all of these weapons all around him. So he had to do some things. So I think they have to feel like if we can do a better job of protecting him and scheme-wise, and maybe he can be a little bit more consistent. Maybe his footwork can be better. Let's slow things down for him. And I think they also have Jacoby Brissett in there that he can watch Jacoby, see what Jacoby does. Jacoby's been in multiple places, played for different offensive coordinators. Jacoby likes Alex Van Pelt, and I'll tell people I'm pretty close with Jacoby. He usually doesn't like his coach. He usually doesn't like his quarterback coach, his offensive coordinator. He's usually one of those guys who I'm like, Jacoby, you don't like anybody. And I called him when Van Pelt was to New England, and I was like, hey, I'm probably going to be on a radio show or something. Do you like this guy? When he was like, I really like this guy. So I wasn't surprised when they went and got Jacoby because of his relationship with coaches. So I think Maye will get to learn a little bit from him. I think Jacoby will help him out. And then if Jacoby plays to start the season, we'll see. Number 3 pick is going to be hard to do that. But I think that'll help him out a little bit because he's going to need to hit. In New England, they've been waiting for this guy to come in and hit. And they're going to expect big things from Drake Maye.
And number 3 was the highest pick the Patriots have had during Robert Kraft's time as owner of the team. He got the team in 94. It was in 93 that Drew Bledsoe was the first overall pick, and Bill Belichick inherited Bledsoe, didn't bring Bledsoe in, and that created that whole transition from Bledsoe to Brady. But 3 overall, the highest they've ever been, and they don't want to be there again because you don't.
Exactly.
Unless you trade up. Unless you get there through a trade you made the prior year like the Bears did, you don't get that high. Because you're a good football team. Here is Jerod Mayo, the new Patriots coach, on the question of whether or not Drake Maye will start right away for the Patriots.
I don't think many rookies are ready to just jump in and play. And look, at the end of the day, our philosophy is the best players will play. And, coming in as a rookie, hopefully he's a sponge. There are a lot of good players in that locker room. And look, Jacoby, he understands. Like, he's a mentor. He's very smart, has great leadership skills, and hopefully Drake can learn something from him as well. But I would say, like, we're going to compete all spring. We're going to compete during training camp, and the best player will start.
Competition. That's the way to go. Best player will start, although if it's close, the edge is probably going to go to the guy in whom they've made the major investment. Also because, Devin, I'm a big believer, as I said earlier, if you're going to make a guy a pick that high, get him on the field. Otherwise, take somebody else who will get on the field. But for a quarterback especially, there's value in the reps, in seeing as quickly as possible. You get to the point eventually where Tom Brady was, where Patrick Mahomes is trying to get, where you'll walk up to the line of scrimmage and you know exactly what's going to happen. You don't get to that point. You don't commence that process if you're on the sideline and not out there under center.
Yeah, and those reps are key, whether it's practice, whether it's game, preseason game. Like, you need every single rep. Are game reps better? No doubt about it. Joint practice reps are better than regular practice reps. But for a young guy, you need every single rep you can get. There's no, like, I can only take these reps over there. But I do think, and I love what Mayo said, is you have to create competition. You can't bring in, I know when you draft guys high, that they're going to play and they should play and everybody wants to see them play, but you got to have some competition. I talked to Jacoby last year in Washington, and what he said he hated the most was, he said it was never a competition between him and Sam Howell. He never got any opportunity to really play. It was always Howell's job. And then later in the season, Jacoby gets in and it's like, oh, this guy's pretty good. Like, he's helping us. We're moving the ball better. He's giving us a chance to actually win some of these games. And then you sit there and you say, like, wow, like, what if they would have started the season with this guy and Sam Howell would have got to see things kind of operate a certain way if he was better than Sam Howell to start the season? I do agree with you. If it's close, again, back to when we had Cam Newton and Mac Jones, when you were in practice and offenses were moving, and I think it was a little skewed because Cam Newton creates a different element when you're going full speed and it's tackle and it's live because of his running ability. But in practice, just moving, call it 7-on-7 or team drills, it felt neck and neck. And I think when you do have that, you let the young guy play, because at the end of the day, if the young guy's not that good by week 3, by week 16, he's going to be better because he got all of those reps. So you do that. But I think when you watch, and you have to be very honest with yourself early in the season, if you're watching and you're just like, this guy's not ready to play. And Coach Belichick said it last night on the McAfee show. He said, if the guy's not ready to play, especially at quarterback, the worst thing you can do is put him out there and then have to bring him back off and take him off the field. Because then once that happens, his confidence is shot. Everybody around now has that doubt. Is this guy the guy? So I think all these teams, especially in New England, I think they have to be careful. Do they have an offensive line that can really keep him upright? Can they protect him? Can they stop some of the bad habits that he kind of created at North Carolina? Can they prevent some of those from happening with other guys around him doing their job at a high level? Because if you can't do that, Jacoby Brissett's whole life has been in those situations. When you're a guy that's not a franchise quarterback, you usually end up playing in all of the really bad situations. Offensive line stinks, or this team's in between trying to get another quarterback next year. So you get out there and you just deal with what you deal with. He's been in those situations. He knows how to adapt and adjust. So I think they're going to have to be really smart of not just sending Drake Maye out there to, really out there to die and get killed play after play after play. You have to make the right decision.
That's an excellent point, though. It's easy to go from the veteran to the rookie. Once you have the guy out there, you can't hook. You can't pull him off. You can't say, we're doing revolving doors. You need to take a break. We're going to put you back out there. Maybe that puts a stench on a guy that everyone can detect, and it's so hard to overcome that. You're right.
Exactly.
When he's out there, he's there. It's his job, and there's no turning back, and we're doing everything we can to get him to that ceiling. That's what the challenge is for all these guys, get them to their ceiling. We're going to take a break. When we return, final quarterback thoughts from last night, including the last guy taken, still 12th overall, with a coach who's going to get him to his ceiling. We'll talk Bo Nix and more right after this. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.